Hello and good afternoon, respected judges, participants, and fellow audience. Today, me, Shane Glorfina, and my friend Matthew Rio will be your host to accompany you throughout the day.
Today is a very special occasion for all of us, and we've gathered a bunch of participants from all over Indonesia.
We also have some special guests with us today who also will be our judges.
For our first judge, we have Dr. Rita Johan, who is a lecturer at Universitas Katolik Atmajaya and also Universitas Gunadarma.
And one of her many achievements is that she has always been active in many English competitions since 2003.
Hi, Ma'am Rita. How are you doing?
Hi, fine.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
And for our second judge, we have Dr. Satyasi Dra, SIMM. She is a lecturer of Pasca Sarjana Jurusan Ekonomi Management in University of Economics Bakti Pembangunan.
Her achievements are also very outstanding, like the previous judge. She has also been active in many English competitions since 2003. She also had been a lecturer at Atmajaya Fakultas Keguruan dan Ilmu Pendidikan for the English major for 10 years.
Well, hello, Ma'am
Hello.
Asi. How are you?
Hi, fine. Good afternoon.
Okay, that's very good to hear. Thank you, ma'am. Well, okay, but we haven't really introduced what Escalades is, Shane. So what exactly is Escalades?
Okay, so Escalades itself is an annual cup held by Smaklima Penabur Jakarta. We invite schools from all over Indonesia to take part in our competitions, which are sports, arts, languages, and also science knowledge. This year, it will be different.
Huh? What do you mean by different, Shane?
Okay, so for this year, we will be having it hybrid.
Oh, really? Wow, it's been 2 years since I've had school's annual cup offline, and now we're having it hybrid?
Yep, that's right. This time, Escalates will bring you the theme of reviving with the title of Resurgency. The word resurgency itself comes from a combination of several words in English, which is reviving the spirit of our generation into excellency. Interesting, right? Hey, Matt, why do you think that the committee chose this theme anyway?
Well, resurgency itself refers to the term reviving the spirit of our generation into excellency. I believe that the committee chose this theme because they want to portray strong moral values that Indonesians have to further develop the fighting spirit.
The pandemic has brought us various kinds of change for all of us. However, it's time to live life as it was before.
That's right. This can be achieved by reviving the spirit of our generation through talent empowerment in Escalades 2022. This year's Escalades is presented as a form of hope that the situation will return from gloomy to rainbowy.
How cool is that? Now we all know what the meaning of escalates resurgency. So, Matt, what competition will be hosting today?
Well, as for today, we would like to bring you the Escalades Resurgency 2022 High School English Speech Competition.
Before we get started with the competition, we'll give a brief explanation of the rules that respected judges and all participants must follow so this event can flow very smoothly without any disturbance. All participants must obey all rules and regulations that apply during Escalade's Resurgency. Each participant is a junior high school or high school student from all school domiciled in Indonesia. Participants and or guardians involved in the live stream recording must wear polite and presentable attire as well as behave obediently throughout the session. Participants and or guardians involved in the live stream recording are not permitted to use attributes such as virtual backgrounds that violate public norms. Participants and or guardians involved in the live stream recording are not permitted to use inappropriate language, offend the other parties, or violate IT regulations during escalates. Participants and or guardians involved in the live stream recording are not permitted to cause any disturbance, such as unmuting without permission, being insensitive towards moderators and judges, chatting continuously and publicly in the chat box, and etc. The committee will not be responsible for the consequences of the actions committed by participants.
We also have issues regarding internet connection and other technical difficulties will entirely be the participants' responsibility. The committee has rights to all videos submitted by the participants, and if there are things that are not stated in the general rules of this competition, then the competition supervisor has the authority to make decisions based on the plenary meeting. It is final and irrevocable and cannot be contested.
And for the live stream rules, participants involved in the live stream recording are required to rename their Zoom identity with the following format: full name, strip, school name. Participants' guardians involved in the live stream recording are required to rename their Zoom identity with the following format: guardian name / school name. Participants and/or guardians involved in the recording, the live stream must activate their device cameras and are not permitted to use replacement pictures, virtual backgrounds, mannequins, etc. as proof of attendance. Participants will be disqualified if they create nuisance, cheat, or disobey any general or competition rule. So that's all for the recording and the live stream regulations. Now it's time for us to finally watch our contestant speech videos. We'll start with the topic of Eat the Rich by Defina Quadran from SMA Sutomo Sato.
There's a story that explains the struggle of anti-capitalists against capitalists. In this story, the class disparity between the rich and the poor in South Korea is very evident. Four families compete in various aspects like real estate, stocks, and positions in a prestigious high school. Until one day, a poor woman enters the competition and ruins their pride. The poor woman fought from below, trying to fight money with talent. However, no matter how hard she tried, the rich kept overwhelming her with cruelty and indifference while using various aspects like nepotism, corruption, and so on. The harder she tried, the more she was shut down again and again until she died eventually, and of course, by their hands. This, people, is the truth of our world. Eat the rich is a phrase attributed to a political philosopher, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, from a quote first popularized during the French Revolution: "When the people shall have nothing more to eat, they will eat the rich." There are two extremes in our world. First is capitalism, and second is socialism. Both these things are contradictory to one another. Capitalism can be defined as a system based on or centered on greed. So, if greed were to become a system, it would be capitalism. Whereas under a socialist system, the wealth that is accumulated gets distributed to the citizens equally. At first, this system receives a lot of positive feedback. The government builds societal services with collective tax. This system helps to minimize poverty levels in society. That is why socialist countries like China, North Korea, and Vietnam began to impose heavy taxes on their citizens, especially the wealthy. Meanwhile, Indonesian socialism attempted to find a middle ground between capitalism and the pure socialism thought by Marx. Socialism in Indonesia combines the order of justice and the order of democracy by operating a market economy within the framework of Indonesia. However, Indonesia cannot be considered as a socialist country because it's not purely nor entirely socialist. I'm confident that equal income for all is not possible. Imagine that you, as a boss, have two employees, a hardworking and a lazy one. You will reward the hardworking employee more than the lazy employee. All his hard work shall be rewarded, and nobody has the right to take it. This case is the same for corporate CEOs and ordinary employees. Both have different levels and different skills. Building a business is not as easy as you think. Business owners and CEOs must be competent in everything: marketing, networking, problem solving, and more. Meanwhile, employees work only in their region, and if they ever wanted to switch jobs, they just simply leave and find another job. So, what do you expect? Equal income for both sides? Equal income by eating the rich? That's outrageous. Supporters of this system even do active demonstrations on the street and make it famous on social media. A TikTok celebrity, Gina Bologna, encouraged people to unfollow celebrities and influencers, especially the ones who get their income from social media engagement. And even the Jenner family is one of the names mentioned. The problem with socialism supporters is they think that they own the rights of equality without looking at risk factors that naturally occur as the class goes higher. They pretend to think that the industry won't work without them, while on the other hand, there will simply be other people who can overtake their position anytime, easily. The rich are eating us, they said. These people want a fair socio-economic status. But as I said before, it's impossible. If socialism is applied, the poor will have a mindset that they do not need to work anymore because everything is provided. This system will be a burden for the wealthy, even though it's not their responsibility. So, in my opinion, neither extreme is the answer. The government will not be able to stop any wave of anti-capitalist or societal protests. Justice could never be accomplished because there will always be an unsatisfied party. Each party has their own responsibilities. So the best thing people can do is to do their parts properly and be rewarded by doing so. That's all from me. I'm Devina Quadran from SMA 1 Stoma Medan. Have a nice day.
Now, I kindly invite Mem Asi to give comments regarding Devina's speech performance.
Excuse me, is it for me or Ibu Rita first?
Mem Asi first.
Oh, okay, thank you. So it's not clear just now. So thank you for the speech. Yeah, as I see, actually, if I read the script, yeah, written about the speech, there is what's that? The participant use story, yeah, but you know what grammar do you use when you wanna tell a story? It should be past time, but some of them in the written, yeah, this participant mix between present tense and past tense. That's about the structure, yeah. So for me, it's just that's the point. And then I wanna ask about this Devina Quadran, yeah. This speech, this video was received by the committee on the date of 19 October. Yeah, at the time at 9:02 8 seconds. Okay, is it like that? The comment committee? Should I say the score also or what?
Yeah.
Here.
Yes, ma'am. That's fine. Do you have anything to say to Dafina, perhaps? Or is that it? Hello, ma'am?
Yes, you asked me.
Yeah, I asked you.
Oh, the additional comment.
Maybe if you have more, it's fine. If
I think it's enough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ma'am Asi, for your comments.
Thank you. Welcome.
Now we'll hear from Ma'am Rita's comments.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck, Devina. I'm very proud of you because it is so relevant. So you discuss in the speech and also highly relevant to the topic, right? And also you did the body of speech. I like it. I like your body of speech. And the time management also. It is very, you don't use more time for this speech. And also your skills in English. You speak English very fluently, and the pronunciation is very good also. And you have the eye contact very good. Also the confidence, right? It seems to me that although you have long hair, it's different with mine. No? It's right. So that is from me. Thank you. And I'm very proud of you, Devina. Very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Rita, for your comments. It was captivating, wasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it really was. And there's something about your voice that makes me really affected by your speech. And not only your voice, but also the way the speech was delivered was really impressive. Well, tell me, Davina, how did you come up with this brilliant script?
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
How did you come up with this brilliant script?
In making the script,
Yeah.
um, I actually have some knowledge about it.
Ah.
Wow, nice one, Defina. Do you wish to ask any questions to the judges?
No, that's all.
Well, thank you, Davina, for your amazing performance. Okay, now let's continue to the next participant.
Now let's move along with our second speech entitled Eat the Rich as Well, delivered by Helen Faith from Cahaya Bangsa Classical School.
Greetings, audience and judges. Please allow me, Helen Faith, to deliver a speech about Eat the Rich phrase. As the world is still recovering from the pandemic, more and more people today are involved in a political phrase called Eat the Rich, especially on social media. This expression is about class division and also wealth inequality. It is making people wonder why are the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. Before I move on to my speech, I would like to mention a definition that must be mentioned. Eating the rich does not mean cannibalism or literal. It means that a political phrase that means that is related to class division and also wealth inequality. Technically, it's all about a fight between a rich and the poor and the unlucky and the unlucky. The problem I found in this speech is that most people mistake the definition of rich. Therefore, I conclude three types of rich people. First is the well-born. Second is the self-made. And third, the exploiters. However, in this speech, I would like to mention that all these three types I just mentioned does not matter at all. Why? Because this phrase, eat the rich, is just too broad and too fake to the point that each people have their own definition, understanding, and point of being rich itself. Let's take Make America Great Again as example. Great in what term? How? Where? When? Why? And why? Why and when? It is too broad that make people misunderstand and leads to miscommunication. Therefore, I will disagree to this eat the rich phrase and would like to elaborate more on my two arguments. First, fake phrases are dangerous to envy people, and second, rich people exist because they have money. Let's be realistic. People likes to vent their dissatisfaction of economy to rich people. They also love to see how rich people spend their money easily and living in the big and fancy houses and knowing that they are impossible to live that kind of lifestyle. That is what you call envy, ladies and gentlemen. Envy is a human nature. However, they have a toxic mindset of, if I can't have it, then you can't have it too. It is already proven in the French Revolutionary that that is created by a social therapist called Jean Jacques by saying, when the poor have nothing to eat, they shall eat the rich. It is a very toxic mindset. A French revolutionary also have people to be mad, angry, and even desperate to eat, while the elites are living a fancy life, throwing away foods and spend more and more just to satisfy themselves. The people are introduced to a new phrase called "eat the rich," making them uncontrollably anger, also be violent, and even attack the rich just to get France as a whole new empire filled with elites, filled with emperors, and even new wealthy people. It does not change, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing will change. The poor stays the same, and the rich will control the poor. Moving on, I will move to my second argument, which is, it is easy for us to blame people for having something that we don't have. We can use example of, she's successful because she have a good appearance, or maybe he's successful because of a good parents. That is called envy. Now I will ask you, how do even rich people exist to begin with? They exist because they have money. And where do they get that money? They get from people. Let's take Zoom as example. And when the pandemic started, Zoom skyrocketed and have much incoming. Why? Because people use and love his app. Also, by using his app, it does not mean that his coming will be used only for his own good, but it also means that he will make into a bigger company and give more opportunities to people, those in need, and recruit more employees. I also want to conclude that not all rich people are bad, and not all poor people are angels as well. As you can see, this beneficial relationship is not shown in the eat the rich phrase, as it only shows that the rich are bad and the poor are good. Therefore, I would like to conclude that eat the rich phrase does not portray a whole big picture of this relationship. It only shows a little part, and it is to manipulate us as the poor, the riches, and more. Therefore, the solution I would like to offer is to abandon this phrase and try to accept the class division. Thank you.
Now, I kindly invite Memrita to give comments regarding Helen's speech performance.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Helen. It seems to me that you try to memorize the text. For the speech, it's better you don't memorize the text. You just say it automatically, really. Because if you forget some words or if you forget some sentences, it will be very, very, what you call it? You will forget it, right? And also the slip of the tongue, be careful, Helen. So next time, if you have the speech contest again, don't try to memorize. Yes, you just make it in your mind, and then the words or the sentences come out from the mouth. Okay, Helen. But I'm very happy that you come to this competition. Yes, Helen. But you try. Are you in the car, Helen? Are you in the car? Okay, so one is, and also this one, I heard that you said I was disagree. It's wrong, definitely wrong. You should say I disagree instead of I was disagree. You know that for the verb and for the noun and also for the adjective or the adverb, how will you use to be, am, is, are, was, were, and also to have, has, had, and also model, something like that. be careful. Disagree, I disagree, I love you. You cannot say I am love you, because if you say I'm love you, it's wrong. You should be I disagree. That is from me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mem Rita, for your comments. It seems that Mem Asi is having technical problems, so we're just gonna go with the flow. Um, oh, Matthew, do you have anything to say about Helen's speech performance?
Well, for me, I must say that Helen's arguments were really eye-opening. And could you please enlighten us from where your inspirations come from, Helen?
I can see from the French Revolutionary that many people suffer from, many people suffer, but then the rich people enjoy. But then from that, the people vent their anger to them.
Ah,
Wow. Well done, Helen. Now, Helen, do you wish to ask any questions to the judges?
No.
well, okay. Thank you, Helen, for your incredible performance. Now let's continue to the next participant.
Our third contestant will be Natasha Annalisa Wijaya, also from Cahya Bangsa Classical School, with the topic of Eat the Rich.
Greetings, judges and audience. I would like to thank you for the opportunity that you have given me here. And now I would like to present my speech, Eat the Rich. Eat the Rich is a term that is first invented by Jean-Jacques Rousseau during the French Revolution. Years after the French Revolution, people soon realized that no changes were actually made in Europe, especially in terms of food. So the citizens expressed their disagreement and disappointment because the merchants were actually saving the best for the rich people while leaving the worst for the less fortunate. These events lead to one of Rousseau's famous statements, which states, "When the poor shall have nothing more to eat, they will eat from the rich." Despite originating from the 18th century, the term "eat the rich" became popular again in the 21st century. The pandemic that hits in the beginning of 2020 has caused a great effect on the world economic state. Many people experience economic crisis and are actually unable to provide for their daily needs. However, on the other hand, billionaires like Jeff Bezos experience an increase in their wealth. If we apply the term "eat the rich" in today's world, it will hold a meaning, blaming those in power for the injustice that are actually happening in this world. After great consideration, I have decided to stand with the crowd who disagree with Eat the Rich movement. To support my stance, I will give you two reasons. First reason, Eat the Rich movement and French Revolution has one similarity, which is mob mentality. Mob mentality is a phenomenon in which the majority will oppress the minority. Realistically speaking, the majority in a society will always be the lower class people, while the minority will always be the rich people. In the French Revolution and Eat the Rich movement, lower class people felt like their needs are not contributed enough by the rich people. Therefore, these movements are born. They will label the rich people as unethically rich and make them look like the bad guy. Eat the Rich movement will only cause a society that is full with mob and feelings instead of a society that is full with justice and equality. Second, let's say the lower class people successfully oppress the rich people. This will create a cycle where it begins with the rich people donating an amount of donation to the government and to the lower class people. After some time, the lower class people will want more and demands more. Just like in the French Revolution, where after overthrowing the monarchy, the lower class people still feel unsatisfied, therefore they put the blame on the rich people. However, the cycle doesn't stop there. The lower class people will start to rely on the rich people and drain the rich people out of their wealth until the rich people became one of the lower class people. And you might ask, what happens if no rich people are left and they are all drained out of their wealth? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the government will start taking from the lower class people, just like what happened in the French Revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, the French Revolution and Eat the Rich movement are very much alike. Eat the Rich movement will did the same mistake as what the French Revolution did. Both Eat the Rich movement and French Revolution seem like they are actually promoting justice and equality, while in fact they are only promoting mob mentality and unfairness. First, they will oppress the rich people, and then they will start to rely on the rich people and drain the rich people out of their wealth. And once the rich people are all gone, the government will start taking from the lower class people, and another revolution will start. And therefore, the cycle continues and it will never stop if we keep on going with movements and revolutions like this. Therefore, I will not stand with movements like Eat the Rich movement or French Revolution. Thank you.
Now, I kind of invite Memrita to give comments regarding Natasha's speech performance.
Thank you, Natasha. Natasha, you are talking about revolution, right? What do you understand about revolution, actually?
I think, hello, can you hear?
Yeah, sure. It's very clear.
I think revolution is like when a group of people wants to make a change, so they do something.
Yeah, so if you are talking about revolution, you should talk something about what is it? Revolution. There is a revolution and there should be blah, blah, blah. What is it?
A change.
There should be. So if there is a revolution, what will happen? You are talking about revolution, right? I'm sure that you understand. Yes, you understand the topic, and also it is very relevant to the speech. So when there is a revolution, there will be
mob mentality.
Okay. Yes, thank you. So it seems that you memorize all the text also, but anyhow, you did it very good. Yes, I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Yes, you are in a car also. Are you in a car? Are you driving?
No, but I'm on my way home.
Okay. So you are not driving. You are not driving.
No.
Are you? No, thank you. That's it from me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Memrita, for your comments. It seems that Mem Asi is currently still having technical problems, so we're just gonna move on.
Well, for me personally, I really find that Natasha's words are very impactful, and I personally wouldn't be able to write such a wonderful speech.
Yeah, I don't think I would be able to write them as well. I feel like your speech was influential. After hearing what the judges have said, how do you feel, Nat?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
After hearing what Memrita had said, how do you feel about your speech performance?
I think my speech is good enough, but I think I should like improve more. There are lots of improvements that I need to make.
Perfect. Now, Nat, do you wish to ask any questions to the judges?
No.
Thank you, Nat, for your marvelous performance. Moving on, let's continue to the next contestant. Our next contestant will be Amadea Teola Benedicta from SMA Masudini, Bogor, with the topic of toxic perfectionism.
Hello, my name is Amadea Tela Benedicta. I am from SMA Marsudini Bogor, and this is my record for English speech competition Escalades 2022. Before I start my speech, I would like to thank my teachers for the opportunity for me to join this competition that is held by SMA Penabur Kelapa Gading. As we all know, in this time of hustle culture, having the trait of finishing a job on time with remarkable results is getting more common. With this trend going on, modern society strives for flawlessness more than ever. The trait has even spread to youngsters. According to research in 2016, the pervasiveness of perfectionism in youth is immense, estimated from 25% to 30%. Though perfection is seen by most as a positive attitude, the effect may not be the same for each individual. Therefore, as a teenager in this modern era, I would say the toxicity of perfectionism should be a part of our concern. Before we go deeper into the topic, one question must come to mind. What is perfectionism? Based on the American Psychological Association definition of perfectionism, it is the tendency to demand of others or of oneself an extremely high or even flawless level of performance in excess of what is required by the situation. In 2002, Flat and Howitt stated perfectionism is a personality trait associated with striving to be flawless and often involves being critical of imperfections. Then, how does perfectionism affect our daily performance? When the personality is affirmative, perfectionism drives the beholder to overcome adversity, resulting in success. As one strives for perfection, one will do the very best to achieve their goal. In this case, is flawlessness. They become ambitious individuals who won't stop their progress until they feel satisfied with their work. Not only that, perfectionism drives each to be goal-oriented. However, the behavior of a perfectionist can be destructive to their achievement. Once flaws have appeared in their work, they stress the one mistake made. It becomes a step back from their progress. If anything, in this situation, perfectionism paralyzes potential. Here's where perfectionism evolved to be toxic. In the head of a perfectionist, having impeccable grades or restrictive diets give them a sense of control. Being perfect grows to be their comfort zone. It is not a surprise for a perfectionist to be seen as controlling, as they have the urge to have everything perfect, or at least by their standards. The trait that strives for perfection even has its faults. When it becomes unhealthy, perfectionism has detrimental effects on individuals. Toxic perfectionism is said to be a fast and enduring track to unhappiness. So, how do we adapt to flaws? To cope with toxic perfectionism, one must first accept themselves as they are. As quoted from Ecclesiastes 7:20, English Standard Version, surely there is not a righteous man on earth who does good and never sins. Imperfection is inevitable, especially in mere humans like us. For Christians or believers, hearing the phrase, It is only God who can seek for perfection is familiar. Remember that even Jesus, his son, didn't live a perfect life or exceed adequate living standards. By acknowledging our imperfections, we become whole, grateful individuals. Andrew Hill once said, perfectionism isn't a behavior, it's a way of thinking about yourself. The rise of perfectionism isn't a guarantee of success for each generation, but is instead to their downfall. No matter the size of the improvement, still values our effort. With that view, perfection is no longer the goal. Progress is the one thing we must focus on for the sake of accomplishment. Thank you.
Now, I kindly invite Ma'am Asi to give comments regarding Ahmadia's speech performance. But before that, the committee would like you to know that Ahmadia is unfortunately not here because she is feeling not well today.
Oh, okay. So it means that Amadia is not here.
Yes, she isn't here.
Okay. Actually, I wanna discuss with her. Yeah. This speech is what's that? Talking about perfection and progress. But because she is not here, so okay. I think yeah, I like the way she explained the speech. Yeah, I like it very much. But yeah, that's all I need to say. Actually, well, that's all.
Well, thank you,
Getting
ma'am.
well soon, yeah, for Ahmadiyah. Yeah, if Ahmadiyah was that listen this video.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am Asif, for your comments. Now we're gonna hear Ma'am Rita's comments.
So is she listening to our discussion, Amadea?
She will eventually.
Yeah, but she will.
Okay. So actually, I would like to ask her, is she wearing a skirt? Because if she is wearing a uniform, it is not like that, you know. That is my comment. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Rita, for your comments. But I really agree on Amadia's point where sometimes being perfect might end up toxic for us. But unfortunately, Amadia cannot discuss the speech with us because she's feeling not really well. But we do hope for a speedy recovery for her.
Yeah, we hope that she will get better soon. So now let's give another round of applause for Amadia. Thank you, Amadia, for your amazing performance. Now for the fifth contestant, we have Martinus Rangga Prastio from SMA Marsudirni Bogor with the topic of Are we being brainwashed by social media?
Are you being brainwashed by social media? Why? Isn't it that we often find ourselves taking pictures and videos of what we are doing when we are doing something that is considered cool? Why do we find the need to tell others where we are publicly? Why is there a constant need to vent our emotion online instead of talking to someone to actually care? Good morning to my fellow players and panel judges. My name is Martinus Rangga, and today my topic of discussion is whether we are being brainwashed by social media. A key element of understanding if we are being brainwashed by social media is understanding what being brainwashed is. Do you possess the understanding of what being brainwashed is? People often understand being brainwashed as being persuaded in your opinions without your own knowing it holds a strong influence over you. In social media, everyone is seen chasing fame, seeking compliments, and don't stop until they achieve a desirable life which others look up to as cool. In order to achieve the mentioned qualities of a desired life, an individual sucks as you will and I will develop an ever-growing sense of ambition in order to achieve public praise and gratification through mediocre amount of fame. We often seek compliments and acceptance on social media, even pity by posting about our hardship and feelings. The presence of social media in our life have given us a strong desire to constantly take picture and video for this social media platform in order for others to view us as cool. As a result of posting online on constant basis, there is no sense of privacy in our life. We often have the expectation on our social media profiles as we have cooler on social media. This damages us as individuals as we are not able to live true to ourselves. If we do not live true to ourselves, we often find internal conflict as we something forget who we are. Through some social media, we often find ourselves convincing others that we are nothing short of being perfect, and sometimes we are also find ourselves believing this lie. This shows the impact social media has on our mental abilities, on process which is a reason to why we can associate it to make us brainless individually. Not only that, we tend to share all the feelings we have on social media without realizing that there are many people who have seen it but they don't care enough to give you a response. Realist or not, we hope that the people who see our posts will pay attention or give some sort of response. But do we really get anything or accept some sort of life attention? We are always busy expressing our feelings on social media, though we know that there are many people around us who want to listen to our stories as well as our problems and can even provide suggestions or solutions that we feel useful. So, what is the danger if we have been brainwashed by social media? The danger we face is that we often ourselves disconnect from the reality around us and may act in a strange manner. We also find ourselves experiencing this sucks as the fear of missing out or FOMO. We know, as we know, FOMO is kind of mental disorder that makes the sufferer feels left out if they do not follow the trend of something that is popular in social media. FOMO could affect our mental health as we may get depressed for not being able to be in a certain moment. In conclusion, I would like to ask you, how has social media affected you? But whatever your choice, I do hope that you can determine that you can take and what you cannot take from social media. So, this is all from me. I'm Martinus Rangga. Thank you.
Now I politely invite Memnita to give comments regarding Martina's speech performance. But before that, the committee would like the judges to know that unfortunately, Martinez cannot be here today because of technical problems.
Oh my God. Uh, I want to talk with Martinez actually, because I would like to ask him about social media, but it's all right. And I would like to ask him to pronounce the word SUGGESTION and also CONCLUSION, because I think that he pronounced that words right. And then after that, that's it, because he is not here. I couldn't have a discussion with him, you know. There are so many questions about social media. He has to have that advantages and also disadvantages. And I'm so sure that he knows already that in a speech, he people should he should focus on that topic, and the audience have to focus on his speech also. That's it from me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Rita, for your comments. Now we would like to invite Ma'am Asi for her comments.
Yeah, my comment is the same with Miss Memrita. Yeah, actually, I need to talk to him. Yeah, because the topic is interesting for me because I like doing research. And then one of his sentence, one in was that there is a FOMO, is a kind of mental disorder that makes the sufferer feel left out if they do not follow the trend or something that is popular in social media. That's it. I want to ask this to him, but he is not here. So okay, another thing is that I agree with Memrita in his pronunciations. There are many words. Yeah, he has to control, make it different between us as good as versus us, kita gitu ya. So it means that so many words ya, mispronunciation. Again, so that he is not here. So that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ma'am Asi, for your comments. I agree with you that the topic he brought was very interesting, especially the way that he brought the negative effects of social media really enlightened me, and maybe all of us in the Zoom. I mean, the committee would like to ask questions as well to Martinus, but unfortunately he cannot be here. So yeah.
Yeah, well, we would like to thank you again, Martinez, for your spectacular performance. And now let's move on to the next contestant. But before we continue, let us have our little commercial break. Don't go anywhere because right after this, we'll see more astounding participants.
We would like to thank FIF, AHM, Astra Asuransi, EduBridge, and also Connection Production, who sponsored Escalades in this year.
Thank you for sponsoring the Escalades Resurgency 2022. Without the help of our sponsors, our event will not run smoothly.
Okay, moving on to our sixth contestant with the topic of toxic perfectionism. We have Nathaniel Griffin Arya Tandanu from SMA Marsudirini Bogor.
First of all, I would like to say thank you very much for the opportunity that was given to me by SMK Lima Penabur Jakarta. My name is Nathan and I am one of the representatives of SMA Marsudirini Bogor. Out of all the 4 topics that were provided to me, I have chosen one of them, which is toxic perfectionism. Now that I have introduced myself and told you what the topic I will be talking about today, I will start my speech. First of all, what is toxic perfectionism? It is a behavior where someone will do something perfectly as they can, to the point that it becomes excessive or unnecessary. This behavior will usually end up being toxic. Why? It's because this person will possibly force themselves or people around them to apply this toxic perfectionism, which means that they will do it perfectly, and nothing less than perfect will be acceptable. This is how it gets toxic, because it will never be finished until this person deems it to be finished. A small example of this behavior is someone that is never satisfied with a score if it's not 100%. Now, it is normal to ask for a perfect score or to work for a perfect score. There's nothing wrong with getting a better grade. The problem arises when this person wants nothing but the perfect grade. He or she is never satisfied with a grade lower than 100, which means this person will end up studying for hours on end. There's nothing wrong with wanting a better grade, but once you force yourself too much, it will not end perfectly. Now, applying this behavior with learning, it will usually end up with the person forgetting to eat or learning for until midnight or maybe more. Now, this will have the negative effect or the opposite effect of what they're trying to do. They want to get a good score. However, learning too much and forgetting to eat will just cause fatigue, which will do the opposite of what they're trying to do and will get them a bad grade. Why? Because they are tired from all that learning. And they are most likely not going to remember anything that they have studied back home. Another example of this behavior, but this time it's not for just for an individual, however, a group. But because when there is an individual in a group working and they're applying toxic perfectionism into this project, it will not be a very good time. Now, there is nothing wrong with wanting your group to do the best. However, once you apply toxic perfectionism, that's a different story. In a group project, you have to listen to every single teammate's opinions and how they think it should be done. But when you apply toxic perfectionism, you will only know or think of what should be done. You do not think of other teammates. You do not consider their abilities. You do not consider how they're supposed to do. You only consider on how you should do it. Everything becomes wrong in your eyes unless it's your own doing. So in the end, it will just end up being forceful, excessive, and unnecessary. The teammates will not have a good time. You will not, this person that applies toxic perfectionism into his life or her life will not have a good time as well, because they will not get the result they want. Why? Everyone has different views on what is good and what is bad. They will also have different views on what is perfect and what is not. It will start a conflict inside this group. It will cause infighting, and it will not result in a good result. It will just end up badly, and having a bad result means that the group will have a bad score or will do badly. Now, there is nothing wrong with wanting your group to do the best. But once you apply this toxic perfectionism, it will, well, keyword toxic, it will cause infighting. Maybe the teammates don't want to work anymore because they're tired of this person that keeps forcing them to do things they can't, or according to what he wants to do. It will not end badly for the group. In conclusion, toxic perfectionism is not a behavior that you want in your life. It is perfectly acceptable to want to do better or want to do your best. However, once you apply toxic perfectionism, well, let me explain. Keyword perfectionism, it literally means perfect, always. Perfectionism means that you always want it to be perfect. Anything less than perfect will not be acceptable. And this will end up making it forceful, because you will force yourself or others around you, maybe if you're working in a group, to do it perfectly as you think it is. Everything has to be perfect. Nothing less than perfect is acceptable. The problem is, perfection is nothing but an illusion made by the human mind. There is no such thing as perfect. Or maybe there is. The problem is every individual has a different perspective on what is perfect and what isn't. Why? Because us individuals have different opinions. This will result in the fact that perfectionism is impossible. You cannot satisfy everyone, but doesn't mean that you should stop trying. That is all for me, and remember, perfection is nothing but an illusion. The only important thing is that you should do your best, and that's all it counts. Thank you very much. That is all for me. Thank you.
Now, I would like to politely invite Ma'am Asi to give comments regarding Nathaniel's speech performance.
Okay, thank you. Excuse me, before I give comment, is Nathan here?
Yes,
It's not.
he is here.
He is not here.
He is here.
I believe he's here. Yeah.
Where is Nathan?
There you
Oh,
go.
Nathan, yeah. Nathan, This is about perfectionism. How do you apply perfectionism in your study? Give me an example.
I think I already gave an example in the video, but maybe I can repeat myself.
In
It's
yourself,
when
I mean, apply it to yourself, yeah.
applying to myself. Here's the thing. For example, right now I have a test that I have to do tomorrow, but I also have a competition I'm doing right now, so I'm focusing on two things. It's not really perfectionism, but I'm technically forcing myself to do better. But again, it's forceful. I'm not supposed to be focusing on this. I should be focusing on the competition. But toxic because perfectionism, of course, I want a good grade. I want 100% on my grade, of course. Is it impossible? Probably, but I still will be trying. So I guess that is an example of perfectionism. I want to do my best, but only the best, nothing else.
Okay. Okay, thank you. It's very good. Yeah, the way you explain about the topic is very good, and I like it very much. Thank you. Thank you, committee.
Thank you,
That's it.
Ma'am Asi, and also Nathaniel for your comments. Now we'll hear Ma'am Rita for her comments.
Okay, thank you, Nathaniel. How are you?
I'm fine, thank
How
you.
are you? Very good. So I'm very, very proud of your English. Your English is excellent, if I may say. But one thing that is one word, how do you pronounce P-E-R-F-E-C-T? P-E-R-F-E-C-T.
Can you repeat that?
Later, perhaps you P-E-R-F-E-C-T. What is it?
P-E-R
F-E-C-T.
F
E-C-T. P-E-R-F-E-C-T. How do you pronounce that word? Or if you cannot,
Perfect.
yes, you have to check it in the dictionary later, okay? It is not perfect. Yes, you can check it later. But anyhow, your English is excellent. I know that you speak English very well, right? And also this one, Nathaniel, when you recorded your voice and also you perform it in front of the video, it means that you prepared well for the uniform, right? Am I right? Okay. Now, may I ask you, at that time when you recorded, you wore that, what you call it, a uniform? And also the trousers, if I may ask you.
Yeah, wore them.
Yes, yes, but you should make it very neat, right? When you were in front of the camera, I think you make it. Yes, Nathaniel, very good, thank you. If I may ask you one more, where did you get your English? Did you get your English from school, or from your parents, or from an English course, or from abroad?
I can say that it comes from many sources. I cannot say that my parents did give me a little bit of help, but it mostly came from video games. I play with foreigners a few times, and I actually practice English with the foreigners, and that's how I practice properly.
Yes, actually, it is good, to have the video from your laptop. Yes, and I'm sure that you can tell people to get good English. They could watch films from the films, right? They could watch films, right? Thank you, Nathaniel. Thank you very much. I'm proud of your English. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ma'am Rita, for your comments. Let's give a round of applause for Nathaniel and of course for his speech as well. I was very inspired by your speech, and it made me realize that it also impacts not only ourselves, but our surroundings as well.
I also agree with that. How do you feel, Nat, after hearing the judges' comments?
So great.
How did you come to the idea of delivering such a good speech?
Let's just say what I said when I gave the two examples, it came from a real experience. So maybe
Oh,
that's why.
well then. And do you have any comments? I mean, do you have any questions you would like to ask to the respected judges?
Nah, not really.
Okay, thank you, Nathaniel. It was a very breathtaking performance. Well, for our seventh contestant, we have Cindy Lawrence from SMAK Penabur Harapan Indah, who is going to bring the topic of fashion as a form of self-expression.
You're excited to meet your coworkers for the first time. One comes up with a suit, which makes you think, ooh, classy. He seems influential and reliable. The other is seen with vibrant and bolder colors, making you guess she must be extroverted, probably the life of the party. The last is wearing overalls paired with funky socks. Definitely easygoing. Have you ever felt that way? Looking at different patterns, colors, the sparkle of jewelry, you automatically perceive someone as a trait. With or without you realizing, you're dressing not only to cover yourself, but also to be seen in the light you wish to be and represent your identity. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the magic of fashion. Honorable judges and respected audiences, hello, I'm Cindy and I'm here to talk about how clothes reflect you and can expressing yourself through fashion turn into an issue. You don't need to be an expert to notice a hint of someone's personality, preference, background, or current feelings in their outfit. Fashion can be a powerful tool. It's a way to tell who you are without having to speak. You may experience an entire mood change, connect with people of the same interests, and enhance your confidence based on which clothes you pull out. But Cindy, to what extent are we allowed to express ourselves? I mean, look at the famous Titayam Fashion Week. Many are criticized because of their fashion choices. Well, I believe you should be free to make decisions about how you dress as long as it's not illegal, not offensive, and doesn't hurt anyone. As the old saying goes, in Rome, do as Romans do. If you're invited to a wedding with the dress code black tie, it'll be disrespectful to show up in shorts and sandals, isn't it? So add respecting norms plus being time and place appropriate to the list. Even if you fulfill all of that, people will still have something unpleasant to say about you. Not that everyone's judgmental, but a handful of people are. If you constantly change the way you dress because of the crowd's opinion, it'll be endless. We are easily pressured by social media about what's cool, what's high fashion, affecting us to wear things that are trendy to stay relevant, even if we don't like them. Do you wish to be walking around feeling uncomfortable in clothing that is not you? Clearly not. In our world today, every teenager wants to own the latest designs in the market. Without control, what does this lead to? Overspending. What if we don't have the money to afford them? We'd feel inferior to our peers and financially burden our parents. Okay, I get it. Looking at Kim Kardashian fitting into expensive, skin-tight, and glamorous dresses might make you self-conscious. However, being obsessed with it is dangerous. Many teens start to consume diet pills, causing poor health, eating disorders, and even a downgrade in studies. One thing you should keep in mind is don't dress to impress, because it completely defeats the purpose of fashion as a way to express yourself. Take delight in figuring out what style you like, what complements your features, and feel comfortable in them. You could wear jeans, a plain sweatshirt, and do nothing with your hair, or you could wear an eye-catching red leather jacket and rock it like a runway model. You'd be you, and that's what matters. Along with that, it's nice to be mindful of your purchases. The freedom to dress as desired doesn't mean you can begin a shopping frenzy and act recklessly. Instead of buying clothes that you'll only wear once, buy ones that'll last long. Every new piece of clothing affects the planet. Did you know that the fashion industry contributes to more annual carbon emissions than all international flights and shipping combined? Therefore, try to support sustainable local brands or thrift stores rather than fast fashion chains. If you tend to make fun of someone because of their taste in fashion, you better know you're destroying their self-esteem. You wouldn't like it if someone did the same thing to you, right? Dressing sense does speak volumes of people's character, but it doesn't define them 100%. Everyone has the right to express themselves. Sure, they may have a different style from you, but that doesn't make them any less of a human. Next time you find a person wearing something you're not a fan of, have the etiquette to keep it to yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you love the idea of embracing your aesthetic and feeling good through fashion? They say real style is never right or wrong. It's a matter of being yourself on purpose. Don't lose yourself trying to dress in a certain way because your friends expect it. When you're happy, you naturally glow. I'm sure you'll shine by your authenticity. Remember to also shop wisely so you won't cause any environmental damage or fall into the rabbit hole of consumerism. That is all from me. Thank you for your attention.
Wow, her speech was really engaging. I'm sure she just caught all of you guys' eyes by her confidence, and also, I don't know, her voice is just so soothing to hear.
Yeah.
Now, I politely invite Ma'am Asi to give comments regarding Cindy's speech performance.
But we would like to inform the judges that Cindy is unable to participate because she has some other matter to attend to.
Oh my God. So Cindy is not here, yeah?
Yeah,
She's,
unfortunately.
she's excellent, yeah? I don't know how to say. She has good sound, good voice, good intonation, and all are good. But the problem is that I want to remind her. She said that here, you don't need to be an expert to notice a hint of someone's personality, preference, background, or current feeling in their outfit. Fashion can be a powerful tool. See that? It is very dangerous. Don't judge from the cover. Okay, so I just want to was that comment, but she's excellent. Congratulations, yeah, Cindy, yeah, Cindy, congratulations for you. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Ma'am Asi, for your comments. Now we'll hear Ma'am Rita's comments.
Yeah, thank you very much. Also, I would like to congratulate Cindy, actually. And I like her performance, right? But I don't quite agree with Ma'am Asi. You know, don't judge someone from the cover. Sometimes nowadays, you know, in this digital era, we have to cover ourselves, you know, that everyone will know who we are from the appearance. That is from me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ma'am Rita, for your comments. Wow, we all can definitely see how Cindy put a lot of time and effort to this topic. But unfortunately, we cannot ask her any questions because she's not here. But personally, I really love the speech. Don't you think, Matt?
Yeah, I'm sure we all loved her speech. It really captivated us all. Well, thank you again, Cindy, for your astounding performance. I'm sure everyone got what you wanted to deliver to all of us.
Okay, moving along to our eighth contestant will be Arkira Halim with the topic of toxic perfectionism.
Before I start this speech, I would like to ask a question for a little impromptu survey. So please answer in your hearts because I can't really see you currently raising your hands. And so the question is, have you ever seen yourself in the mirror? Have you ever witnessed and perceived and observed that little human inside your reflection? You look at it and you don't say, of course, I love you. No. That'd be too easy. You look at it and you say, I hate you. I hate you for getting 30 in that math test yesterday, even though I've studied so many countless nights for it. I hate you because she left you, even though you've tried your best. I hate you for looking like this, even though I've used every type of skincare there is in this world. And guess what? You say these 4 fatal words in the end. You are a mistake. Maybe we have experienced this once in our lives. Maybe twice. Maybe thrice. Or maybe we are experiencing this every day of our lives. And so I would like to ask the question of where this problem stems from. And one answer I found is toxic perfectionism. And even the idea of perfect itself. My name is Archie Halim, and you can call me Archie. I'm from Upaya College, but I will be representing myself in this speech competition. I do not really believe in a competition because I believe this as a form of me talking to the audience to give out my reach and to give out my ideas regarding to this topic that is very urgent in several ways. Toxic perfectionism and the notion of perfect. What is perfect? Why is perfect? How is perfect? And the answer to that is none. It's nihil. There's nothing. It's in the void. What is perfect? There is no perfect in this world. How is perfect? You cannot achieve perfect. Why is perfect? There is no need for perfect. Friends, I would like to ask you all to look at yourself in the mirror, or take out your phone and just open the camera, look at yourself. You are still human. Memento homo, or meaning remembering that you are human. You are able to create mistakes. You are not God. God is obviously perfect. But are we God? How can we assume ourselves and how can we expect ourselves to be perfect even though we're not God? It is a stupidity, to say the least, to try to do so. When you look in the mirror and when you say, I've lost, yes, you've lost, but you're still human, are you? Can God lose? No. In which we are mortal. And perfectionism, which is obviously toxic, as you can see, is putting you into the expectations of a God. And it puts you into the expectations of results. It hinders context, it hinders yourself from thinking critically. For example, in results, I get a 30 in my math test. You, let's say, fail in getting a boyfriend or a girlfriend, okay? Those are the results. And perfectionism believes that you should always win. In the most perfect way possible, you will get 100. That is perfect. You will get 100, okay? And maybe to yourself, you will get that boyfriend no matter what. you will get that girlfriend no matter what you do. And it does not see the journey you have. It does not see the journey and the experience you've gotten to reach that conclusion. And if you fail, it scorns you. Perfectionism says, I hate you, right? And if it sees your journey, it says, wow, you can only do this much. And so it tries to make us a god, even though we're not. And so the solution towards toxic perfectionism is, I want you all to look at the mirror, and this is the solution. You say, excellent. The striving for excellence rather than the striving for perfectionism. What is excellence? Excellence is the journey. You do your best, and when results do not comply, you know that you have learned a lot, you've gone through a lot, and you say, even though I lose, I still win because I've learned something. And I remember that I am a human, and I'm not God. And in fact, if I do lose, I am brought back to reality. I still understand that I am a human rather than those in stupidity and in the notion that they can be a god and they can be perfect and they strive for perfect. And so you rise to another level of being a human being, to not be toxic, but to guess what? To be divine in God. The moment you understand that you are human and full of flaws is the moment you will start understanding yourself and the one who created you. And you will unlock a new phase of your life that you might say to the person in the mirror, hey, I don't hate you anymore. I love you and I accept you for who you are. Because guess what? We are all human and we cannot be perfect. Because perfect is a fairy tale for those below. And so, my friends, strive for excellence and scorn perfect. Always do that in every step of your life. Thank you very much.
Wow, what an amazing speech, and how his emotions were just like all over the place. Thank you, Archie, for your speech. Now, I kindly invite Memrita to give comments regarding his speech performance.
Yeah, thank you very much. Your English is excellent. That is one from me. And the second one is you have to differentiate between perfect in as a noun or as a verb or as an adjective. But anyhow, how did you get your English, if I may ask you, RK? Where did you get your English?
Thank you very much for asking and for the comment. I got my English since I was actually an infant because my mom spoke in English, and so my mom talked to me in English, and now I've learned English since I was an infant, and yeah, thank God it actually got better.
No wonder then your English is very excellent. And where did you record that video? Where was it?
Oh, so sorry. Yeah, it was in my room because I had nobody else with me. I live alone in an apartment, so I can go to school. And so I took a video with my laptop since I couldn't really use my phone, nor can anyone take a video recording of me.
Last but not least, I would like to ask you, you said you are a mistake, right? When you were in front of a mirror. If I may ask you, if you make an article about this, you can spread it away to the people, you know. I think it is very important for people to know who they are, right? But because you said that you have to stand in front of a mirror and ask yourself who you are. Give me a comment on that, please.
So I think it's really important for this topic to be spread. And I actually talk about it to my friends a lot, actually, since I'm invested into philosophy and etc. The big question is really, when we look at the mirror, why do we say, I hate you or you are a mistake? When we can actually encourage ourselves to do the good in this world. And so I think what we could do is we could spread to this mouth from mouth, and of course in online media platforms as well, to actually spread awareness about such emotions. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Good luck to you. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Ma'am Mita, for your comments. Now we'll hear Ma'am Asif for her comments.
Archie Rea. Okay, it is an example of perfect. It is you. You do your perfect speech. Yeah, really. I can say, there is a message, moral message. Yeah. Uh, excellence is a process. Excellence is not the end. I like it very much. So no comment for you. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
May I ask one more question? Where are you? Where are you, Archie?
I'm currently in my school.
Okay, so you are still at school.
I'm still in school.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Matt, I don't think you've unmuted yourself.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, thank you, Ma'am Asif, for your comments. What an amazing performance by Archie. We were very awed by your performance. You delivered such an amazing speech in such a unique way. I'm truly impressed. Don't you think that as well, Shane?
Yeah, I'm very impressed as well. I really like how you delivered the speech, and I also can tell that you have done a lot of research about the topic that you've delivered us. How are you feeling, Archie, after you've heard from the judges, and how did you come up with your amazing topic?
Thank you very much for the question. I really believe that, of course, how did I come up with this question and how I feel towards the judges. I am really grateful and I'm really thankful towards the judges and every people there is here, the audience, for actually coming into play into this emotion as well. What inspired me to actually talk about this is, in fact, the anxiety levels of a person and students actually in schools and in the current generation, of course in Generation Z and of course millennials as well. And it's really interesting because when we think negatively about ourselves, we can actually accomplish less. And so why should we think things negatively? So we should think things more positively in a positive light as well. That is my inspiration for this speech. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Archie. And do you have any questions you would like to ask the judges?
None. Thank you.
I would like to ask you one more. What time are you going to go home? What time are you going to go home?
I'm going to go home after this competition is finished, I think, because I just finished school at 4 p.m. as well. So I was kind of late on joining the Zoom.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Okay, then. Thank you, Archie, for your incredible performance. Now, let's continue to our next performance. Our ninth contestant with the topic of fashion as a form of self-expression, brought by Gabriela Hillary Halim from Teach Indonesia School.
Many believe that fashion is a form of self-expression, which isn't wrong, but to what extent? Warmest greetings to the honorable judges, committee, and audience. It is a pleasure for me to be here to share my thoughts with you today. My name is Gabriela Hillary Halim, and I'll be presenting a speech entitled The Extent of Expression. Let's start off with a simple question. What is fashion? Is it clothes, styles, or trends? The most common answer to this question would be what someone's wearing. or how someone dresses? Well, according to Jennifer Craig in her book, Fashion, the Key Concepts, fashion is a way of presenting ourselves to others, including our wealth, professionalism, social status, even our moods, and so on. Therefore, it can be said that fashion is accustomed to our daily lives. Not only does it serve as a platform to share information about ourselves to others, but it is also needed by everyone, everywhere, at any time of the day. This is because there isn't really a particular occasion where we aren't dressed. So unless you're showering in the bathroom at the moment, fashion is basically mandatory for you to include in your daily life. There are many ways people express themselves through fashion. Some are wearing designer bags, some are purchasing jewelry, and some are just dressing up casually. All of these are done through their own will and likings. Everyone is free to express themselves through fashion the way they want to. Now, this brings us to the main issue. If fashion is really a platform for us to express ourselves, then why are there certain conditions where we aren't allowed to wear what we want to wear? I'm talking about the general rules here in Indonesian schools. Most schools here prohibit us to dye our hair, to put on nail polish, to wear jewelry, and so on. Girls are obliged to have their hair up during lessons, and boys aren't allowed to have hairstyles that pass over eyebrows length. In addition to that, we also have school uniforms, while a majority of schools outside there do not. Many students argue that we, students, should be able to make our own decisions regarding our own appearances. After all, expressing oneself is that person's free will. Schools should be overjoyed that their students aren't holding themselves back from who they are or what they truly love. As long as the decisions being made doesn't affect their grades, schools shouldn't be allowed to forbid students from just having a sense of style. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why I brought up the first question. Fashion is a form of self-expression, but to what extent? Ladies and gentlemen, it has to be understood that there are certain times where expressing ourselves through what we wear is not exactly an option. Yes, what you wear shouldn't be anybody else's problem, but it does show a sense of formality and respect. For instance, you're invited to a formal meeting. You would never show up in a plain t-shirt and shorts. On the other hand, if asked to go out for lunch with your friends or family, wearing a casual outfit would be perfectly fine. It's all about norms and morals. Same goes with the aforementioned school rules. There is a purpose behind their creation. In 1957, George Simmels wrote that fashion differentiates people from social classes with people from other classes. So, it can be concluded that these school rules were made to build uniformity and equality amongst the school members itself. It is important to include everyone in a community, not just a few. You wouldn't want to make anybody feel left out in the same community. My speech is coming to an end, and allow me to sum it up for you. There is no limitation to expressing yourself through what you wear. It is 100% your choice. However, it's not always about expressing yourself. Sometimes it's about respecting others. Thank you.
Now I would like to invite Ma'am Rita to give comments regarding Gabriela's speech performance.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Now, Gabriela, if I may ask you, who will be the audience of your speech? Who will be the audience of your speech? Are you here, Gabriela? Are you here? Can you hear my voice, Gabriela?
I think Gabriela is having some connection problems.
Okay,
Yeah.
anyhow, I'm waiting.
She's here, but I think her Wi-Fi is slow.
She could hear me, perhaps.
Yeah.
And well, quite difficult, yes. Because I heard from her speech that she is directing this speech to some people, but it is not so clear whether it is to the teachers, to the students, or to public. Well, that's all from me. But anyhow, she did it. She pronounced the words very correct, and then also the performance is quite good.
Thank you, ma'am, for your comments. Now we will hear Ma'am Asi's comments.
Okay, Gabriela, Hillary. I don't know, maybe is it my laptop or what? Yeah, something wrong with the light, yeah, or the screen she had.
Oh yeah, I think she is having some Wi-Fi problems because it seems to me that I can't see her too.
And then body movement. She moved there, come forward, and then move backward, and then so what's that? In making speech, it's not like that, yeah, for Gabriela. So sorry, I just want to what's that? Tell you something. And then about the time management, Gabriela has longer time, yeah, 6:47, longer than the others. So it's okay. That's it from me. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Ma'am Asi, for your comments. And I'm sure Gabriela has put a lot of effort into her speech.
Unfortunately, I don't think she can join us right now because the committee said that she is having some technical problems, that her Zoom is not responding. But I'm sure that Gabriela will hear this recording eventually. So yeah, well done, Gabriela. And also thank you for your outstanding performance. Now, moving on, let's continue to the next participant. So this is our very last participant, Mirel Valaskawati Mena from Smak Penabur, Sumarekon, Bekasi, and she will bring you an amazing speech with the topic of, are we being brainwashed by social media?
It is okay to mourn over the kid you never got to be. That was a quote I found from an anonymous number post a couple years back. But still, until right now, it still makes me wonder how I would be if social media didn't exist. What kind of person I am if I didn't grow up with social media. Would I be so much different than the person I am today? Or would I be the same Miral, just without her Instagram highlights or her sad tweets? But you know what? At first, none of this was any of my concern. I mean, never have I ever thought that making Instagram account when you were 9 years old would contribute a lot into shaping your identity, including your personality, including what you like or dislike, including your political views and beliefs. Because what I think about certain matters a year ago versus right now may be totally different, and those changes that happened in a very short amount of time could be caused by social media. And now, like many teenagers in the same generation as mine, we grew up with social media, right? Like, yeah, like me particularly being too young to start one myself, but I went through a lot of internet phases. For example, like the Tumblr grunge 2016-2017 era, and into the bunny hat of TikTok 2020 era. Also until the Coquette Lana Del Rey 2021 core. And from one of those phases, I wanted to be of them. but not just that, I also wanted to be what social media would consider pretty, what social media would consider cool, what they would consider stylish and trendy. And I remember the effort I put in just so my friends could consider me or call me the social media friend, because I don't know why or how, but I think around that time it is probably because that was what I considered cool back then, and so I thought that's what my friends would consider cool too. Because, you know, if you're the social media friend, you always knew the trends that are going on right now. You knew about every celebrity dating rumors, and you listened to every band's songs, and you knew all the songs, each one of those songs. And yeah, that's what I considered cool, and that's how I wanted to be perceived when I was 10 years old, 11 years old. But sometimes it's funny, because that's how I also wanted to be perceived until right now. So sometimes. But you know, let's jump first into how social media influenced me and my personality, because you know what? No. Wrong, because that's wrong. Social media didn't influence me, okay? It manipulated me into thinking that I need to dress a certain way so that people wouldn't be calling me basic. Because no, you don't want to be basic, but no, also don't overdress, because if so, you're seeking attention. And cool people listen to underground music and collect their vinyl, but don't listen to TikTok songs. But if you don't know any of those TikTok songs, you're not cool either way. And have better taste on films, like go watch Fallen Angels and make that your personality for the rest of the month, or go watch Christopher Nolan's works and then give us a brief explanation of why they are superior than chick flicks like Mean Girls or Legally Blonde. Like you see, those things that I've done because of social media, because and for social media. Because you know what, those things are the one that have made me realize that I was being manipulated all this time, and that I was not being cool, I was being brainwashed. But no, don't get me wrong, I know that I promise that there are a lot of the positive sides of social media. Like for instance, if it wasn't because of social media, I wouldn't be watching many of Wong Kar-wai's films, and I wouldn't be taking inspiration from their fashion senses, or I wouldn't be listening to Lana Del Rey or Phoebe Bridgers when I was sad. and those are the nice things that social media has brainwashed me into, and I'm grateful with that, and I don't see any problem in cases like that because there are no problem, okay? But other times, social media would make you feel tired, and social media would make you feel exhausted and vulnerable all at the same time. Well, at least based on experience. And I think it is because when you're using social media, you constantly get updated with other people's life, and that makes you feel tired. And when those feelings mix up all, you're feeling like you're in a loop because you feel those feelings all at the same time. And so once you're in a loop, you still can break those loops. It's not easy because by breaking those loops, it means that you're by taking break from social media, and that taking break social media doesn't sound easy as it sounded, right? But you could still do that. You could still just try, and if you want to take break from social media and you're feeling like you're going to missing things out, just try to remember how much you miss your life before social media, even when you don't remember any memories from around that time. But I hope from this way we could at least find who and what are we, or what are you without social media. And if you like to, you could think of this as in a way to mourn that kid you never got to be. And so that is all of my speech today. Thank you so much for listening.
Now I kindly invite Ma'am Rita to give comments regarding Muriel's speech performance.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm wondering, can you answer my question? Do you think that we can? Do you think that we can avoid the social media? Please answer my question.
Yes, thank you so much for asking. No, I do not think, I mean, as in the time or as in the era we are right now, I do not think we could avoid social media because nowadays I think we actually need social media. And so we could actually avoid, but I think we could actually avoid the social pressure that social media could give us. It could affect us.
Yes, in this era, we cannot avoid this social media, right? But do you think that there are still advantages of social media?
I'm so sorry. Can
Sorry, you cannot hear me well. So the question is, do you think that there are many disadvantages of social media? If you compare with advantages and disadvantages, which one is bigger?
Well, I think if we're talking about advantages and disadvantages, I think it's mostly based on the user, like how you actually could use social media. Because I think there's different parts of social media that are actually positive, and they're actually different. The other sides are actually negatives, but I do not think ones are bigger than the other. It's just how are we gonna use, or how are we gonna be on social media.
Well, why I raised this question? Because you mentioned about brainwashed. So everyone could be brainwashed by the social media. You said so, right? What is the reason?
I think for sorry, I think it is because my speech is based on my experience, and so I think it is because when I started social media, I was way too young, so that I wasn't, my brain hasn't developed enough to know which ones are the positive sides and which ones are the negative sides. And right now, right now, I know a lot of people that started social media with the same age as mine. So I think that our brain hasn't just fully developed to know which ones are positive and which one are negatives, and that we also think, and so with the social, I think it is also because of the social pressure social media give to us.
Well, that's it. So if I may suggest, perhaps we have to uh, tell people that we have to use the social media, but to what age? It is different. Yes? You agree with my statement?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all from me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Rita, and also Mirel for the comments. Now we will hear Ma'am Asis for her comment.
Okay, Mirel. How to pronounce your name? Mirelle.
No, yeah, no, it's Mirel.
Mirel. Okay, Mirel. So you are in the grade 10, yeah?
Yeah.
May I know where was your junior high school?
Same Penabur Sumarekon Bekasi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, your English is good. Yeah, you're still in the first grade of senior high school, grade 10, but your English is good. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I like it. The second is that so many questions asked by Ibu Memrita, yeah. So my question is that what time did you record, like doing recording the speech? What time?
Sorry. I recorded myself like in the middle of the night. Because I actually submitted the video late, so it is because I recorded the video in the middle, around like 11 p.m.
Midnight, almost midnight, yeah. So your face really sleepy, yeah. I mean, it looks like that. Okay, anyway, you're good, yes. You're still young, yeah, still young, and then you can improve your English best. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
One more. I would like to say that.
Yeah.
I like you. I like your English.
No, thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Ma'am Asi, for your comments. And I'm speechless as well. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta say, I really admire how your pronunciations and your English is.
I gotta agree on that one. The story that you brought up was very interesting as well, because I really like how you talked about the internet faces. I think we all kind of went through that kind of phases, right?
Yeah.
May I know where did this whole idea come from?
Well, when I first got assigned with the topic, it just came up with my mind because I am very familiar with social media, and so that way most of what I wrote on my speech is based on my experience only.
Oh, I see. Now, Mirel, do you wish to ask the judges any questions?
No, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Mirel, for your excellent performance. Wow, that's really our last performance. Time flies so fast, Matt.
I know, right? I didn't even feel the time has gone by.
Yeah.
Well, but before we close this event, let us have our little commercial break.
We would like to thank FIS, AHM, Astra Asuransi, EduBridge, and also Connection Production, who sponsored Escalades this year.
Thank you for sponsoring the Escalades Resurgency 2022. Without the help of our sponsors, our event will not run smoothly.
Yeah, those are some amazing performances from our participants. We wish you guys all the best and good luck.
And don't forget that we will also have a fan favorite one. So give your guys a vote for your favorite speaker.
That's all for today's speech competition. We, as the committee for Escalades Resurgency, especially the committee for this Escalade speech, would like to thank you all, especially the respected judges, our fellow participants, and the audiences for attending and supporting this event.
We also would like to apologize if there are any inconveniences or faults made by the committee throughout the event. See you guys in the next Escalades event.
Escalades Resurgency 2022. Yakin,
pasti bisa. Participants may leave the Zoom meeting. Thank you guys for your participation. We hope to see you guys next year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.